Alright, here we are with the 2025 Acura RDX A-Spec. So in this review, we will have a quick look around the car, inside the car, and go out for a test drive to see how this car feels. So starting out with the exterior, we have full LED setup here for the turn signal, headlights, and we have dual LED headlights here. We have the aggressive Acura look with these blackout grills, nice big Acura logo. We have beautiful rims, kind of a grayish. We have turn signals. They're not power folding on the Acura RDX, and they have like a blind spot monitoring and everything. This is kind of a mid-size SUV, kind of similar to an CR-V. We have, partially LED setup on the back. The turn signals are incandescent, which is just, not good for this price point. We have nice backup space, a trunk space. It's kind of an SUV, so expect it to be quite big. And overall profile of the car is just kind of a big, this is just an all-wheel drive car, nice for the winters. And it's kind of a mid-size SUV, not super big, not super small. It sits between the ADX and MDX. It looks amazing and sporty, but let's see what it offers inside of the car. Alright, so getting inside the Acura, we have these touch sensor. As you approach the car, it will unlock for you. Let's get inside to see what it offers. Beautiful red seats here. And as you close up the door, you're welcomed with this beautiful Acura chime and this animation. So this is kind of a luxury car. We expect to have nice touches here. We have this red leather here on the door panel. We have this leather wrap steering wheel. We have the leather seats with the suede blacked out in the middle. They are power adjustable, memory seats for 2%. Lots of controls here. Brake hold, electronic parking brake there. Let's just fire up the engine. You're welcomed with a manual cluster for a 2025 $50,000, $60,000 car, which is unacceptable. This is kind of a partially digital. You have like a digital kind of thing in the middle, not configurable at all. You only have a couple of options there. You can just change a lot, just a couple of things you can put there. Tachometer on the left, speedometer on the right. That's all you get. So it's just not nice. We have the heated steering wheel, lots of safety features, controls for the radio. We have these touchpad for the infotainment system. Not a big fan of it. It's just kind of annoying to get used to, and just changes when you're going to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I don't personally like it. It's big, the location is nice, but I wish it was like a touch screen right there. I don't like it. We have the heated and cold seat for both passengers in front. We have the auto, which is nice. It just sets the kind of heated or the cooled seat based on the temperature. A big kind of a charging station. Beautiful console. I love the red color with these blacked out kind of a roof. Beautiful big panoramic sunroof, sunglass holder, and frameless mirror. Yeah, the biggest disadvantage is this is not a touchscreen. This is not kind of digital cluster, but let's see how this car feels driving it. All right, so here we are with the test drive of the 2025 Acura RDX A-Spec. So we'll start off, as always, with a bit of city driving, and then we get up the highway to see how this car feels to get up the highway speeds and stuff. So on the city, since it's an SUV, you just have a lot of visibility. You're just higher on the ground. You just have a more kind of a control around your vicinity. But the thing is that this car is kind of not a hybrid vehicle, so you won't have phenomenal fuel economy like in other hybrid cars as you would expect. So we have like a 10.5 liter per 100 kilometers on this, which is not super great. This car offers a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, turbocharged, around 272 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. So you can expect, you can expect this car to be super powerful on the highway, getting up the highway steep speeds and stuff. And also on the city, you won't feel any lack of power. And I would say the worst thing, the bad thing about this engine is that it doesn't have great fuel economy, honestly. But if you just push your foot on the gas, the car just on the edge, super powerful, quick to respond, and quick to get up to speed. Very great. I mean, brake feel, you know exactly how to stop the car smoothly, calmly, or without any issues at all, like any other Acura Honda product. This car also offers the start-stop system. automatically shuts up the engine to save, I don't know, like a bit of gas. I mean, it's just something that I usually turn off on my car. I don't really like that kind of thing. But the steering wheel on this car feels amazing. Lights on the highway speed, super stiff, easy to control, and it's really, really, you know, amazing to drive, I would say. Love how this car feels to drive. One of the, you know, in terms of like the price range, comparing it to the rivals and other Acura products, you're not getting a digital cluster. You see, this is just an analog for the tachometer, speedometer. So just something to keep that in mind. You won't get nice features other cars, and since it's not fully digital, you don't have any customization. You can just have speed or navigation or maintenance, pressure, super handling, all-wheel drive information, and that's it. And you only have one at the same at that time, so you don't have a lot of things to configure, and that's just not good at all. Considering the price that you're paying for it is like $50,000, $60,000 Canadian, you would expect to get like a digital cluster for a 2025 model. Also, the cluster is just not touchscreen. You just have to use this touch bar, which doesn't make sense at all. It's just hard to use, and I understand some people, it's just a deal breaker for them. They won't go with an Acura only because it doesn't offer the touchscreen. So it's just not convenient to use. It's just kind of a learning curve. You just have to use it a lot to understand how it works. But then when you switch it to Android Auto, then everything completely changed. The behavior, the response of the system changes altogether. And that's just a deal breaker for me, at least. I don't like how the system feels. It's just, I don't know, tedious to use and learn. Why don't they use a kind of a, you know, a touch screen? Anyways, this screen is not good at all in comparison, especially to its rivals like Lexus's, Mazda's. This is just not good at all. And also the gauge cluster. Again, comparing it to its rivals and considering the amount of money that you're paying for it. But this car offers a 10-speed automatic transmission, so it's not a CVT, meaning that you can have a little bit of fun with it. I just have to turn right here, so let's just keep the lane here. You just feel a bit of engine noise. Some of it's fake, coming from the exhaust, the sound system. Let's just get up to highway to see how this car feels, to get up the highway speeds, how smooth the engine is, how noisy it is, and how powerful it actually is. So I'm gonna turn right here. Yeah, the steering feels amazing. I don't have any complaints about that. The complaints usually is about the technology in this car. But the handling, like any other Honda products, is just amazing. You just don't feel lack of, you know, response. The input is precise. You exactly know what the car is doing, like any other Acura product. The response of the the automatic transmission is okay. It's not the snappiest, it's not the slowest. It's kind of okay. You can't just compare this car to German rivals. So at the same time, you are just, you know, paying for a Honda or an Acura product, so you get the reliability, but at the same time you can have a kind of a German-ish feel car. It's not as snappy, so I'm just downshifting right now. Let's just put it to sport mode. This car offers 3 drive modes, so sport mode is just the highest performance version of it. And on this mode, the manual, the automatic transmission is just a little bit snappier. Downshifts are quick, but you can't compare it to the German rivals. It has 10 speed, so it has lots of gears to shift, lots of options, and cars sometimes feel a bit confused switching gears and stuff. Yeah, let's just yeah, this car has like 4 different drive modes. Just turn right here. But this is just super powerful engine, I have to say. You won't feel any lack of power. The shifts are just not that, you know, super fast, but if it does, then the car is just, you know, powerful. You feel the torque coming out of this 2-liter engine. It's just a powerful engine, at the same time not super noisy. Yeah, sport mode feels phenomenal. Snow or not snow, comfort. Comfort is just the kind of a drive mode that most people will use this car in, and it just feels quiet, calm, and kind of a relaxing to drive. But the engine is, I mean, the transmission is just not that on the edge and snappy when you're just on sport mode, which I like to drive this car in sport mode because that's an Acura. Everything is red here, pushing you to use, in fact, the kind of a sport mode here. Yeah, the engine noise, the fake engine noise is kind of okay. I like it. Just feels good. The engine is not that noisy, not that powerful, but still having some sort of engine noise makes you feel better. Yeah, paddle shifters are just metal, feels good. And as I said, not super snappy, not super slow, somewhere in between. See, 10 speeds, lots of options. Okay, I would say. This car also offers a manual mode, kind of a sport mode, kind of a sport plus, I would say. You just have to, you can control and shift yourself all the time. Just shows there on the cluster. Amazing. For the price points, I think that's a reasonable power, reasonable response from a transmission. Everything makes sense considering the price that you actually paid for this car. It's not the most expensive car out there, it's not the cheapest option, somewhere in between, and you're getting kind of a amazing power from the engine, okay transmission. Overall, a great package. If it had the touchscreen, a digital gauge cluster, and a 360 camera, I would say, then it would have been an amazing choice for everyone. But right now, lacking those options, it's kind of a questionable choice. Controversial. It depends on how much you like driving, how much you love tech and stuff. Yeah, super powerful engine, super snappy. Let's just go around this ramp. I always love to drive this car in sport mode. It just feels better. Feels powerful. Getting up to speed, no problem at all. I wish you had a digital cluster, then you would add more information there. Handling. Getting up to speed is just no issue at all. The car is super fast, super powerful. But yeah, the manual shifts are not that fast compared to other cars. I love the information that you're seeing in the cluster. Lots of things you expect from a performance car that has those features. Lane departure assist. That's a lot of safety features like keeping the lane. So right now, just turn that on, and adaptive cruise control. So you don't need to touch the steering wheel. The car steers for you, keeps the distance for you. So I'm not touching anything, and it just drives by itself. But it keeps asking you to put your hand on the steering wheel because it's not a completely self-driving car. But it's a nice feature to have, especially on the long drives. You just have to, you know, put your hand on the steering wheel all the time. But it just does most of the job for you, which is phenomenal. And the system, like any other Honda product, is just very accurate, very precise. You won't feel any issues at all with that. And also it comes with the kind of a road signal reader, so it just shows you what signs are on the road, shows you on the cluster. You see the limit is 80, but it just only scans the speed limits, not the stop signs and other signs, which is not so good for the price point that you're paying for this car. I mean, the other rivals offer more than that, so it's just something again to keep that in mind. So in terms of a tech, I would say this is just like a little bit dated, maybe like from 5-6 years ago. If this car was like 2020, 2019, this kind of things would be acceptable, but for 2025 or even the 2026, which is exactly the same thing, this is kind of a not acceptable thing, I would say. But yeah, driving amazing, the engine super powerful, 270 horsepower, the 10-speed transmission is phenomenal. The only issue is the technology with this car. Alright, so here we are with the test drive of the 2025 Acura RDX A-Spec. I just wanted to give you a bit of feel of how this car feels to drive, what are the features, what are the pros and cons, and I hope you have the same feeling as me driving this car. And I hope you like this video and hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you.